I've got it. I've got it. I've got me some white space. No idea what I'm talking about? That's okay. Hey, I'm Charlotte from Colorful Teaching for you, and we are going to be talking about the benefits and the limitations of procrastination. And you heard me right, there are some advantages, and we will also cover what that little dance was about in the beginning. Or if I've gone crazy. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Join me and we'll find out. So, before we continue on, I just want to remind you that for a limited time only, about 2 weeks, now you get a free course for you if you are a teacher or a parent, if you want to help your child overcome procrastination by really understanding it. Please check out the link below and we get started. But wait till after the show, please. So, you totally heard me right. There are some benefits to procrastinating. Number one is whether you know it or not, your gut has a lot to do with it. So if you are listening to your gut feeling, it's going to tell you sometimes if you need to procrastinate. So here is an example. You might have this, you may really be jazzed up about working with somebody, and maybe it's your friend, and then you realize that you keep putting it off, but you have no idea why you're putting it off. And then you ask your friend for a proposal so that you understand that you're on the same topic. Your friend hands in that proposal and you look at that and you're like, OMG, oh my gosh, this is atrocious, look at that writing. And then with your procrastination abilities and that atrocious writing, what a great combo, right? So, and even if you're not a procrastinator, do you really want to spend the time proofreading somebody else's work after you've done all of your work? I don't think so. You just want to look it over and then hand it in, right? So sometimes you've got to listen to that gut feeling and figure out why you're procrastinating. That's a benefit, right? Sometimes it's just you're putting it off for an actual reason. The second one is what I was dancing about earlier. It's your creative genius, your white space. And what I mean by that is you sometimes need to take some time to think about what you are going to do before you do it. Here's an example. Before, when I was in the education program, I was expected to work on a presentation for a course. And I remember when that assignment was due, or not due, when it was handed out to us, I came up with a beautiful timeline. I was like, I'm going to do it this day, and I'm going to work on this day. And lo and behold, I got in front of my computer and realized I don't know what to write. I don't even know where to start. Couldn't come up with the first word. It took me 10 hours. 10 hours sprinkled on a couple of days. And if you have ever been part of the education program, you know how intense that program is. You don't have a life. You don't have 10 hours to waste. But I wasted that 10 hours. Was it really waste though? Because when I was out of that creative space, well, I was always in it, but when I emerged from it and started to work on the presentation, I have to say, it was quite a phenomenal presentation. My professor actually raved about it. And I'm not saying that to boost my self-esteem or anything. It's because I spent that time in that creative genius space that we all have, and I procrastinated just a bit. But eventually I came out of it and I worked on it. And if you want to see one of the pictures I used, is actually on my About page. It's the second picture. Love it. So anyways, sometimes there are benefits to it. We take a deep breath. We hash out what we need to hash out. We sit and we think about what we need to work on, and then we actually come out and we work on it. So that's an advantage. The disadvantage, though, is if we sit in this space forever and we don't actually ever get out and do anything about it. So if you have a big assignment due, or if you have a big dream that you want to work on, sitting in this space for an eternity is not going to get you anywhere. And here, let me give you an example. A couple of summers ago, I was asked to write a proposal because I wanted to, at that point, join the Masters of Education program. And it was summer. I was booked to travel that year, and all I wanted to do was enjoy the sun because where I'm at, we don't get much sun. And so when it was out there, I wanted to be out there with my friends and just, or packing if I was going to be home, but I didn't want to be sitting in front of a computer and writing. And so of course, I was I was procrastinating, and yes, I mean I did over time. I worked on it a little bit at a time, and I handed that in. But if I had procrastinated, let me tell you, I would not have stood a fighting chance of getting to that program because I did hand in a bonus little section to it that made me stand out, and I would not have had time to do that if I had procrastinated. So sometimes procrastination is a good thing, but at times there are some disadvantages. So when you are thinking about it or when you're talking to your kids about it, I really want you to focus on the fact that there are advantages and disadvantages. And the reason for that is because it helps kids feel like they are welcomed, like they are not alone. Like it's okay as long as we take some action after. Okay? Now, if you want to teach your children how to take advantage of um, having some momentum, please click on the link below for the free course that I talked about. And if you are already very good at planning, then grab your High Achievers Roadmap to goal setting and get on with it, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, you have so many gifts, so continue to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Thank you so much. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye.